Walton County Special Magistrate short-term vacation rental compliance hearing to order, dated for December 10th at 1 p.m. My name's Hayward Dykes. I'm the Special Magistrate. We'll be hearing the matters this afternoon. We've got an updated list. Are there any other edits or changes to the agenda that I have for this afternoon? Okay, see head shaking. All right. With that being said, anyone who plans to present any testimony or evidence this afternoon on any of the matters before me, if you'll please stand, raise your right hand. I'm going to swear everyone in at one time. All right. Do you all swear? Do you all swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right. Thank you all. You can grab a seat. All right. The first case that I have on here is CESTR 25026. And that's Timothy and Deborah Linus, L-Y-N-A-S. Is someone here for the Linuses, L-Y-N-A-S? I don't see anybody standing up. Let me grab that phone. I think I've got that right here. All right. Officer Sloan, whenever you're ready.
Good afternoon. For the record, I'm Walton County Code Compliance Officer Andrew Underwood. I'm presenting final summary reports and testimony for all cases on today's agenda. I'm stipulating that all case files, notices, mailings, and evidence related to today's agenda were provided by myself or Mr. Joshua Allen, short-term vacation rental coordinator for the Planning Department. Mr. Allen is present today, available to corroborate information and answer questions. The cases being presented involve property in an unincorporated area of Walton County and are therefore subject to the Land Development Code, Chapter 7, and other provisions of the Land Development Code. All the cases presented today are for the violation of Land Development Code 1.13.16a, short-term vacation rental certificate required. As evidence in their respective files, each report includes copies of notices that were sent certified mail pursuant to Florida Statute 162, affidavits of verification for short-term vacation rental status signed by Mr. Allen showing failure to register, and short-term rental advertisement materials. Evidence of each property being advertised as a short-term rental property was captured by Mr. Allen from the GovOS program, which identifies, monitors, and provides data for advertised short-term rental properties. I physically verified each of these properties. The county requests that properties found in violation be brought into compliance. This compliance shall be achieved by either removing all forms, references, and instances of advertisements and marketing, or by registering with the short-term rental program and gaining full compliance with all county codes and requirements. Failure to bring the property into compliance by the established deadline will result in a $500 per day fine until the property is brought into compliance. Administrative fees for each case are listed in the case summary as well as the final order. First case on the agenda, CESTR-25-00260, parcel ID 24-3 South-129-25150-000-2680, property located at 15 Cypress Street, number 268, Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. Owners Timothy and Deborah Linus. This property was found in violation of Land Development Code 1.13.16a, short-term vacation rental certificate required. The property is registered with a DBPR and registered in good standing with the TDT. In your packet, you'll find Airbnb advertisement material, official notice, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and an affidavit verifying short-term vacation rental status signed by Mr. Allen. The county would like to submit the evidence at this time.
All right. That'll be accepted into evidence. I have a copy of the notice of violation, notice of hearing for today's date at this location at this time, made out to Timothy and Deborah Linus. I have a printout from Airbnb for Cassine Gardens 268. All right, and county's recommendation is 48 hours, $500 per day fine, and then $77 in administrative fees.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Anything else that I need to consider from the county?
No, sir.
All right, one last time, anyone here for Timothy or Deborah Lyons, or Linus? All right, not seeing anyone, I'll close the evidence portion of this hearing. I'll make the following findings of fact and conclusions of law. I'll find that the property located at 15 Cypress Street in Santa Rosa Beach, Florida, is in the unincorporated area of Walton County, Florida, and is therefore subject to the Walton County Land Development Code. Based on the evidence and testimony presented this afternoon, I find that there is sufficient evidence to find a violation of 1.13.16A, short-term vacation rental certificate requirements at the property. Based on the county's recommendation, I'll order that the property needs to be brought in compliance within 48 hours, so that'll be on or before December 12th, 2025. In the event the property is not brought into compliance, a $500 per day fine will be imposed. In addition to the fine, there is a $77 administrative fee that will be assessed. That'll need to be paid regardless of whether or not the property is brought into compliance, and the property owner will have 30 days to pay that. And it looks to me, and I think you mentioned it, that they've registered with DBPR, they've registered with the Tourist Development District, but they have not registered and complied with the county ordinance for registration.
That's correct. Yes,
so
sir.
that's what they need to get in order. All right. Anything else in reference to that case?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir. I'm signing that order now. Our next case is Michael and Tracy McGee, McGehee, and the address is 99 Barcelona Avenue in Santa Rosa Beach. Is anyone here for the McGees? All right, not seeing anyone stand up. Officer Underwood, whenever you're ready.
Yes, sir. Case number CESTR-25-00261, parcel ID 14-3 South-19-25040-004-0200, property located at 99 Barcelona Avenue North, Santa Rosa Beach. Property owner, Michael and Tracy McGehee. This property is found in violation of Land Development Code 1.13.16A, short-term vacation rental certificate required. This property is not registered with the DPPR and not registered with the TDT. In your evidence packet, you'll find Airbnb advertisement material, official notice, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and an affidavit verifying short-term vacation rental status signed by Mr. Allen. The county would like to submit the evidence at this time.
All right, that'll be accepted in the evidence. Has there been any contact with the property owners?
Yes, sir.
They understand what they need to do to get in compliance?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
And similar to the last one, this is also 48 hours to bring the property into compliance?
Yes, sir. 48 hours to gain compliance. If not, $500 per day fine.
I'll accept that into evidence. I didn't see anybody walk in. Again, one last time, no one here on behalf of the McGees. All right. I'll close the evidence portion of this hearing. I'll make the following findings of fact and conclusions of the law. I'll find that the property located at 99 Barcelona Avenue North, Santa Rosa Beach, Florida, is in the unincorporated area of Walton County, Florida, and is therefore subject to the Walton County Land Development Code. Based on the testimony and evidence presented today, I do find there's sufficient evidence to show that a violation exists on the property, specifically a violation of 1.13.16A, short-term vacation rental certificate requirements. Pursuant to the county's request, I'll order that the property needs to be brought into compliance on or before December 12th, 2025. In the event the property is not brought into compliance on or before that date, a $500 per day fine will be imposed. In addition to the fine, there's a $77 administrative fee that will need to be paid regardless of whether the property is brought into compliance. All right, did I miss anything?
No, sir, that's it.
All right, those are the two action items or cases that we have. Now I've got 3 others that are here for fine reduction. The first one is CESTR 25-00096, and that's Lewis, and Nels, Millet, Milete. That sound right? All right. Mr. Tatum, you're the attorney for the Millets, is that correct? All right. This is a fine reduction. I'll let the county present first, and then I'll hear from you, Mr. Tatum.
Yes, sir. This is case number CESTR-25-00096, parcel ID 24-3 South-19-2560-00D-0110. Owners Louise and Betsaida Milete. Property located at 332 Cassine Garden Circle, Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. This case was presented to the magistrate on 5/21/2025 at the short-term rental hearing. It was ordered that the property gain compliance on or before 5/23/2025, at which point a $500 per day fine shall accrue. The property gain compliance on 10/22/2025. This equates to 152 days of non-compliance, resulting in a $76,000 fine. In your packet, you will find an order of fine reduction, as well as copies of the final order, order imposing fine, and the affidavits of noncompliance and compliance. Administrative fees for this fine reduction are $23. In this case, the evidence shows that the property is income producing and not a homestead. Mr. Allen is here with data showing estimated income potential. Also, no errors were made on behalf of the county in processing this case. Therefore, at this time, the county recommends no fine reductions.
Okay. Mr. Tatum, I'll hear from you on your, the requested fine reduction.
Thank you very much. For the record, Stephen Tatum here on behalf of the owners. Not sure if we're allowed to examine anyone or anything in this kind of hearing, but I would ask, do you have the code case detail report? Was that provided to you?
Not in what Officer Underwood provided for today's consideration. If you want me to look at that or you want to go through that, I can.
I do only have the one copy with me because I thought it would be provided to you.
Well, if you want to read from it.
Yes, I will. Of course, Officer Lynch was handling this to begin with, it appears, up until August of this year. And then from 8/13/25, where that was where you signed the order imposing fines. From that point, there's not another entry in the detailed report until Mr. Underwood, Officer Underwood, provided a comment that states, 10/22/25, spoke with owner Betsalata Milete. She was unaware that the property was accruing fines. I referred her to the STVR program to find out what requirements are necessary to gain compliance. She asked how much the fines were. I summarized the final order for her and gave her the current calculation of fines of $76,000. The owner was shocked and instantly requested a fine reduction. I told her I can start the fine reduction request process once she gains compliance. I will follow up with her once a compliance date is recorded with the STVR program. So that was October 22nd. On October 23rd, Officer Underwood entered another comment that states, according to the STVR program's SharePoint file, this property gained compliance on 10/22/25. So according to the own report, as soon as my client found out that they were being fined and not in compliance, they immediately took action and got registered. Yes, there was a large delay in time in between when the hearing came before you and or even when the notice of violation was sent. Because I think there was several days of, or maybe even a couple months worth of time in there before my clients actually got registered. However, there were extenuating circumstances. They manage this property themselves. They live in New York. They have relatives, unwell relatives in Puerto Rico that they're back and forth to visit constantly. And Mr. Milete is an active accountant. So he believed during this whole time that he was actually in compliance, like I think probably several people do that come before you, because they were registered with DBPR and with the TDT. So at this point, where we're requesting all fines be removed and that we will pay, of course, the administrative fee for the hearing.
At the time the violation was found, they were registered with DBPR, Tourist Development, district, but they were not registered with the county. Is that your understanding, Mr. Allen? He's standing up.
Good afternoon, Joshua Allen, Tourism Livability Coordinator for Walton County, Florida. Incorrect, sir. There was not a DBPR license found on file at the time this case came before the magistrate, but the property was registered with the TDT and not in good standing at that time.
Well, as we sit here now, though, or I mean, I'm guessing since, do we dispute the assertion by Mr. Tatum that it was brought into compliance on October 22nd, 2025?
No, sir. It was brought into compliance on October 22nd, 2025. That is the day that they submitted their application for registration.
Do we know when they resolved their issues with DBPR and the TDD?
So they were recently approved on 5 December for their registration, which means they have to be compliant with the other registration and licensing.
Okay. I didn't know if it was a scenario where they had resolved their issues either with the TDD, DBPR, or both, and then there was only the one outstanding, and when that was done. So, all right. So, Mr. Tatum, do you have any questions for Mr. Allen? Or you?
I have no questions for him. I just wanted to point out that I do have a DBPR certificate from a renewal that was issued on 10/23, so it is likely that there was a time period between when y'all did your investigation and they went back and renewed. But that was a renewal that was issued on 10/23, if you'd like that in the record. And then I have all the TDT returns from from 2025. I do not have anything from 2026 showing what happened in I was
gonna say, I don't know that we'd have anything
from 2024, but I do have 2025s where there were just some months where the house just was not rented, so there was only I think it was a $50 administrative fee due when that's the case. So that may be why they weren't in good standing with the TDT. Can't tell you for certain on that. But I would say they have acted in very good faith once they understood the process and have very quickly resolved the situation once they understood what the problem was.
Right, and I think that's one of the things that the county's trying to get across is people get into compliance, get the word out. So I've got two extremes. I've got the county saying let's not reduce anything, and then you're facing, $70,000 plus $76,000 in fees, and then I have an owner saying they don't want to pay anything but $23 in administrative fees. Have either of the parties had any discussions, or do y'all just want to take your risk with me? I'm happy to do it one way or the other. Or if y'all want to talk a minute and see if there's a compromise, that's fine with me as well.
I'm just going to, again, state for the record, sir, we had first contacted the Miletes in May 2023 and again in October 2023. And then in January 2025, and then of course right before we had the hearing in April of 2025. Just to put that on the record again.
No, I don't disagree with the county that you did what you were supposed to do, sent out the notices, tried to meet. I know we do give these short fuses, so it's 48 hours, and we do the maximum, which is the $500 fine. And I think that gets people's attention. And in some instances that's appropriate, and I'm not saying this instance wouldn't be appropriate. I just find it difficult to say $76,000 is the answer, or that zero is the answer. So I would
point out I did request the entire code enforcement file before this hearing, and I see nothing about a 2023 contact. And in fact, the hearing notices are all or the violation notice is January 20th of 25. So I don't know I'm not sure what was sent prior to that date. Nothing here is dated anything like that. There's a letter from January 2025 telling them that they're in violation, and then there are the actual violation notices that come after that. But there is nothing from 23 or 24, nor does there anything show up in the detailed case report showing that, at least from what was given to me.
Right, and we're not gonna relitigate this. I mean, obviously the hearings occurred, so we're just here dealing with
Sure.
just the reduction portion of it. And I mean, I'm willing to hear any aggravating or mitigating factors. I think Mr. Tatum's touched on a couple mitigating factors. You know, the lack of knowledge is one, but probably more important to me is, you know, if they've had some family issues, health issues or whatnot, you know, I'll take those at face value at this point. But I'm fine to make it. I mean, like I said, I'll give y'all a minute if y'all want to talk about it.
Can we take a 5-minute?
Yeah,
So
I mean,
we can
that's
talk to
fine.
Mr. Tatum?
If you and Mr. Tatum, I don't know if Officer
Andrew,
Underwood wants to
yeah,
go
yeah.
on to the next one, we can try to do that.
Can we just take 5 minutes and?
Yeah,
and
okay. Well
we'll-
then, we'll just take a 5-minute recess, all right? For, the short-term vacation rental compliance hearing back to order. Do you gentlemen have an opportunity to talk? If you know.
We did, Your Honor. Sorry to interrupt you. But did not necessarily come to an agreement, or did not come to an agreement, but we are willing to offer the $1,000 plus a $1,000 fine plus the $22 administrative fee to be paid for this hearing in particular. I'll let, you're not Officer Underwood. Mr. Allen, weigh in.
Yeah, and we're still sticking with our same agreement, sir, but we are, or what we've previously stated as a fines, but this is up to your discretion.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, like I said, and I understand that sometimes you just can't come to an agreement. I appreciate the property owner recognizing, you know, that some time has been put into it. I do find, you know, there is evidence to support a fine reduction. So I will be reducing the fine, but I will not agree to reduce it to 1,000. I think what I had in mind, and what I'm going to order is that the fine reduction from $76,000 is gonna be reduced to $1,500. That'll need to be paid. Can that be paid within 60 days or sooner?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. That'll be $1,600, plus I have, not 22, but $23 in administrative fees. Does that sound right?
Yes, sir. $23 administrative fees.
So,
Was that 1,500 or 1,600 on the fine amount?
what did I say?
You said both, actually. You said 15 and 16.
Okay, well, it'll be.
I think you meant 15.
I'm sure that's what you think I meant, and I'm sure Officer Underwood would probably think I meant 16, but we will go with 15 for the benefit of the property owner, so it'll be 1,523.
Thank you, Your Honor.
It'll need to be paid within 60 days. Be aware, if it's not paid within 60 days, the original fine amount of $76,000 will go back into effect. So it's incumbent on making sure your clients pay that timely.
Can I ask now, where does that payment need to be made?
Property owners, we take that in-house.
Okay, take it
in our
in-house.
office. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right? All right. Thank you, sir. That ends that. All right. Our next case is gonna be CESTR 25-00129. This is for Winston Lane Partnership LLC. And the address is 115 Winston Lane, Inlet Beach. Do we have a representative for Winston? All right. Yes, sir. What's your name?
My name's Brad.
I'm sorry?
Brad Hess.
Brad Hess, Mr. Hess. Yeah, if you want to just grab a seat, I'm going to let the
Okay.
county present, and then I'll hear from you.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you, sir. All right. Whenever you're ready, Officer Underwood.
Yes, sir. This is for fine reduction for case number CESTR-25-00129, parcel ID 36-3 South-18610-000-80830. Property owners, Winston Lane Partnership LLC. This is for a property located on Winston Lane and Inlet Beach. This case was presented to the magistrate on 8/26/2025 at the short-term rental hearing. It was ordered that the property gain compliance on or before 8/28/2025, at which point a $500 per day fine shall accrue. The property gain compliance on 9/4/2025. This equates to 7 days of non-compliance, resulting in a $3,500 fine. In your packet, you will find an order of fine reduction, as well as copies of the final order, order imposing fine, and the affidavits of non-compliance and compliance. Administrative fees for this fine reduction are $23. In this case, the evidence shows that the property is income producing and not a homestead. Again, Mr. Allen is here with data showing estimated income potential. Also, no errors were made on behalf of the county in processing this case. Therefore, at this time, the county recommends no fine reduction.
Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Hess?
Yes, sir.
You heard what the county, that they're requesting that no fine reduction be had. There's 7 days at $500 a day, so the accumulated of $3,500 in accumulated fines. What does Winston Lane Partnership requesting today?
So being a first for us, I represent them. I'm the property management company owner.
Okay.
And being a first for us in this process, they're just asking for a one-time pass. And so I'm kind of here to represent that one-time pass as we navigate how to do this. That's pretty much it. They asked me if they need to get their lawyer involved and all that, and I said, no, let me just go find out what we need to do.
Yeah, understood. Okay, so the property owner's request that you're representing is at least the same as last one, 0?
Correct.
Okay. Well, similar to the last one, I'm probably not gonna do what the county asks and hit them with the entire fine, but I'm also not gonna say 0. So, I can give y'all a minute if you want. I mean, this isn't a whole lot of money.
Right.
I don't think it would be prudent for them to get an attorney, but that's on them. I'm fine to let you take a moment. I don't wanna do that for all these cases all the time, but, I don't wanna set a precedent, but I'm fine with making a ruling. Do we have any mitigating circumstances that you wanna let me know about as far as, I mean, to me, 7 days is not, an obscene amount of
Correct.
time or anything like that.
I agree.
So, I think that on its face would tend to make me lean towards giving some type of fine reduction. Is there anything else I would need to consider, or that you have that you want me to consider?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Anything else from the county?
No, sir.
Okay. With that being said, I will find sufficient evidence that would support a fine reduction. I find that the 7 days, while it was past the 48 hours, was not obscenely past the 48 hours comparative to the last one that we just dealt with. With that in mind, I will agree to reduce the fine to $500, and that can be paid within 30 days.
Easily, yeah.
Okay, so we'll have that reduced to $500. It'll only be paid within 30 days. There's also an additional $23 admin fee that'll also need to be paid, so the grand total is $523. And as you heard earlier, that can be paid directly in-house to the county. Is that correct, Mr.?
That's correct, yes, sir.
All right, great. I didn't want to tell him wrong and him miss it. Do be advised, as I said for the last one, in the event that the fine's not paid timely, then it will go back up to the $3,500. All right? Any
All right.
questions?
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
All right, our last fine reduction is SLM Seacrest Holdings, and that's for 11 Beach Bike Way, Inlet Beach, Florida. And that case number is CESTR 2500135. And what's your name, sir?
Mark Ayer, A-Y-E-R.
All right, Mr. Ayer, we're going to let, just like you saw, we'll let the county present, and then I'll hear from you. All right? Officer Underwood, when you're ready.
Yes, sir. This is a fine reduction for case number CESTR-25-00135, parcel ID 26-3 South-180-16010-00H-00H-0100, property located at 11 Beach Bike Way, Inlet Beach, Florida. This case was presented to the magistrate on 8/26/2025 at the short-term rental hearing. It was ordered that the property gain compliance on or before 8/28/2025, at which point a $500 per day fine shall accrue. The property gain compliance on 9/4/2025. This equates to 7 days of non-compliance, resulting in a $3,500 fine. In your packet, you'll find an order of fine reduction, as well as copies of the final order imposing fine, and the affidavits of non-compliance and compliance. Administrative fees for this fine reduction are $23. In this case, the evidence shows that the property is income producing and not a homestead. Mr. Allen is here with data showing estimated income potential. Also, no errors were made on behalf of the county in processing this case. Therefore, at this time, the county recommends no fine reduction.
All right, thanks, sir. Mr. Ayers, what would you like me to consider?
Yes, sir. Thank you. I've got a rental house on Flip Flop Lane, and I have this house with a partner in a partnership right around the corner on Beach Bike. They're with two different management companies. I have mine with 30 Escapes, and I'm in full compliance and was in full compliance. And my conversations that I had with my management company all along were that they took care of this agreement with the county. So I only assumed that Panhandle was doing the same thing that 30 Escapes did. The minute I found out that that was not the case, I came in compliance, and I think I got it corrected, and I think those dates were within Labor Day week there. So within 4 business days, I got all my inspections done and was within compliance once I found out. But it's nothing that I was thumbing my nose at anything I was getting in the mail. It just, I assumed that the management company was handling it like they were my house on Flip Flop Lane. So.
Understood. Okay. Officer Underwood, do you, well, let me ask you this, Mr. Ayers, what are you requesting then? Obviously, you want a fine reduction. Are you asking for 0? Are you asking for, what amount are you requesting? You've heard the county, they don't want me to do anything.
I mean, I'd go $100 plus the administrative fees. I think that would be fair.
Okay.
Like I said, if I was, I took this very serious, and like I said, if I was non-compliant on my other house and thumb my nose at the county, I totally understand. But that's not what I was doing. It was just a lack of understanding because of the way I had the two different management companies. And at the end of the day, buck stops with me. but I didn't really understand fully the extent of it with the management companies and who did what and why some did and why some didn't.
All right. I can appreciate that. Officer Underwood, do you have anything to add or any questions for Mr. Ayers regarding his testimony?
No, I will agree with Mr. Ayers that when he did find out, he did take corrective action very quickly. I can't recommend a fine reduction just because no errors were made on the county's behalf. This was an issue between a property owner and a management company. So the county's going to stand with the no reduction recommendation. But I do appreciate Mr. Ayer getting his property in compliance in a quick manner.
Understood. All right. As I've done in the past, I think I'll note that the 7 days that there's nothing to dispute that Mr. Ayers' contention that once he found out there was an issue, that he tried to resolve that issue timely. And as I said earlier, I think the county's kind of mantra or what they try to do is get compliance, which is what we're trying to do. So we can definitely appreciate that. And I appreciate you at least offering 100. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce this to this fine from $3,500 based on Mr. Ayers' testimony to $200. There's also going to be a $23 administrative fee, so the total is going to be $223. That'll need to be paid in the next 30 days, Mr. Ayers. If that's not paid in the next 30 days, the fine will go back up to $3,500 automatically. You understand the order?
Yes, I do.
All right.
Thank you,
sir.
appreciate it. Thank you.
I've signed that order, and I believe that is all I have other than orders to be signed. Y'all can leave. Did you know that? Oh, okay. I mean, I didn't want you sitting over here. All right. If that's it, I believe that's all I have.